Melania Trump got up and walked away from her own husband on camera. And the reason why was standing 3 feet behind him as he held the green flag. Now, here's what we believe is going on. Melania Trump doesn't like Natalie Harp. And the body language at this Grand Prix race that took place in Washington, D.C., basically says everything. Now, let me set the scene for you. This was the Freedom 250 race in D.C., another Trump vanity project at taxpayer expense. It was an IndyCar race down Pennsylvania Avenue to celebrate that the United States is now 250 years old. Melania Trump showed up. That's itself news. This was only her second public appearance in over a month. She's basically been staying out of sight in the midst of this scandal involving Natalie Harp, potentially Trump's new love interest. And as the cameras roll, Melania is right next to Trump. And Natalie Harp, Trump's 35-year-old executive assistant, is just a few feet behind them. You can see her in the black dress in this image over Melania's left shoulder. We start with video of Donald Trump. By the way, really, have you ever seen anyone wave a flag like this? Here is Trump waving a green flag.
Green, green, green. We have green. We are racing in the Freedom 2.
Dear God, very, very strange stuff. And so that brings us to this moment. Natalie Harp behind Melania, and Melania seems to leave as soon as Natalie Harp is spotted in the booth. I apologize in advance that there are engine noises to these videos. This is very visual, so I also apologize to the audio audience. But what we see here is Natalie Harp sort of approach Trump, and very quickly Melania Trump gets up and walks away. There goes Melania. In comes Natalie Harp. Seems to have a phone in her hand or something like that. So Melania bails out there. And then here is another moment that is generating a lot of interest, which is a conversation between Donald Trump and Melania that seems to have both of them upset with each other over something, while understanding that they are on camera, sort of trying to control and limit the degree to which they are obviously arguing here. So Melania seems pissed, and Trump is sort of reacting as if they're having a normal conversation, even though it seems pretty clear that they're not. Oh, boy. Now, it has not been independently confirmed that they were arguing or arguing about Natalie Harp's presence. It has not been independently confirmed that Melania got up specifically because she can't stand Natalie Harp and doesn't want to be around her, and that's why she hasn't said a word to Natalie Harp. That's what the videos appear to show, but they are not facts. But I would argue that the context really matters here, and the context isn't subtle. Natalie Harp has become the story, and it is not the story of a really skilled aide whose professionalism is unmatched. It's a story about an aide who seems obsessed with Trump. Personal letters where she says, "You are my guardian and my protector. You are all that matters to me." And she reportedly worked in the White House over a year without a security clearance until Trump intervened to get her a security clearance. She was in the small group that fled Air Force One with Trump during that security scare in Turkey. She's been photographed chasing Trump's golf cart in Scotland. She may or may not be having an affair with Donald Trump. That's certainly what a lot of people are implying. Senator John Ossoff put her name in the national spotlight, saying Trump would rather build his ballroom and travel with Natalie than do the actual job. And Trump's response has not been to distance himself from Harp. It was to call John Ossoff Pee Wee Herman, and to keep defending Natalie Harp. Bernie Moreno went on TV and said the scrutiny is misogynistic. Newt Gingrich went on Twitter and said they're criticizing a professional working woman, as if they are now the defenders of women's rights and feminists and whatever. But nobody else is writing "you are all that matters to me" to their boss in strictly professional working relationships, man or woman. And then another weird moment, this was more of a dementia moment. Trump, I don't know if he doesn't understand the direction of traffic in this race. Everybody is looking to their right, and Trump's watching the race off to his left. And everybody in the booth is like, you got to look that way, sir. Here's everybody saying that way. Over there, Melania. Trump's pointing the wrong way. Sir, over there. And eventually Trump's like, oh, the entire thing is happening over there. Gotcha. Listen, this was a chaotic scene. We don't exactly know the totality of what happened here. It's not about one flag or one awkward moment or whatever. This is a White House where the president's wife is done pretending everything is normal. She's basically MIA. She and Trump are completely estranged. There are reports that there was a renegotiated prenup related to Donald Trump running again, which includes that Melania Trump is not only getting a bunch more money, but that she sort of has a minimum number of events which she's required to appear. That's reporting. It has not been definitively proven by documents. Where we find ourselves is a situation where Trump has become the leader of a movement that claims to value traditional values. It claims to value having one wife. It claims to value fidelity and not cheating. And how any of this stuff fits into that, obviously it doesn't, but it's also an indictment of the average Republican voter, which at the end of the day, they can claim, here's what we value, here's what we want. It's these sort of principles and godly this and godly that. Trump told them he's religious, even though we know that he's not, and they accepted it. Trump told them that he is against abortion. He is anti-choice when he had 68 years of being pro-choice. And it's clearly something he came up with in order to convince Republicans to vote for him. And he embodies everything that Republican voters claim to oppose. And yet they still prefer Trump over Democrats, because really what it is about we hate Democrats. So Melania standing up and walking away and letting everyone see her do it, a reminder of all of the ways in which Trump is not what Republican voters say they want, but Republican voters have never punished him for it. They just ignored it because they hated Hillary and they hated Biden and they hated Kamala Harris. Another example of their stated principles don't really matter to them. On the bonus show today, we will talk about an insane Border Patrol arrest involving an American service member. We will talk about a move to impose new fees for H-1B visas and the hidden crisis of overqualified Americans who can't get themselves hired. It's a very interesting story. All of that and more today on the bonus show. Get the bonus show by signing up at joinpakman.com.